Good evening. And welcome to the Design Review Committee meeting. And with that, I'd like to call the November 8th, 2023 Design Review Committee meeting to order. And Christina, can you please call the roll?
Semple. Rudine. Marsh.
Here.
Aguilar.
Here.
Zuckerman.
Here.
Erstad.
Here.
4 present, 2 absent.
Thank you very much. Next, I would like to take a motion on the minutes. We have two. Basically, we have the work session minutes for October 11th, 2023, as well as the Design Review Committee meeting minutes for October 11th, 2023.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to approve Design Review Committee meeting minutes and Design Review Committee work session minutes dated October 11th, 2023.
Thank you. So moved.
Mr. Chair, I
Yes.
cannot second as I was not present
Okay.
for that meeting.
And neither was I.
Can you second a motion without attendance? Okay. I believe we can, somebody can second it even though they didn't have on the
I'll
motion.
second it.
Thank you, Mr. Stad. So we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Christina, you please call the order.
Marsh.
Aye, yes.
Aguilar.
Aye.
Zuckerman.
Abstain.
Erstad.
Abstain.
2 in favor, 2 abstain. Motion carries.
Thank you very much. We have one piece of new business to start off with, which is a time extension. It's DRH 21-00405 Trinity Trailer. Its location is 8208 South Eisenman Road. It's a request for a 2-year time extension to construct a previously approved 48,800 square foot industrial building with associated site improvements on a property located in M1D zone. And I'd be looking for the committee for a motion on this time extension.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I move that we approve the 2-year time extension on the prior approval of DRH 21-00405.
Thank you. So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Aguilar. Any questions on the motion, discussion? Hearing none. Christina, you please call the order.
Marsh.
Aye.
Aguilar.
Aye.
Zuckerman.
Aye.
Erstad.
Aye.
All in favor. Motion carries.
So we have one item up for consideration on our design or our consent agenda tonight. It's item number 2. It's DRH 23-00318. Location is 4377 South Apple Streets for the construction of a new maintenance facility consisting of 10 buildings, totaling approximately 122,000 square feet and associated site improvements on a property located in an M2D zone. Is the applicant present? Yeah, let the record show the applicant is present. Are you in agreement with the recommended conditions of approval? Please let the record show the applicant is in agreement. Is there anyone in the public, either online or in person, wishing to testify in opposition to this item tonight? Seeing none in person. Any online, Josh? None online? Seeing none, this item will be moved to the consent agenda, and that also concludes our items for the consent agenda. So I would move.
Mr. Chairman, just
Yes.
one quick clarification. It's DRH 23-00319.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you. Again, DRH 23-00319 is item number 2. At this point, I take a motion on the consent agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve item DRH 23-00319 on consent.
So moved
Second.
and seconded. Thank you. Any discussion on the motion?
I'm
Seeing-
excited to see this go through.
Yeah. Seeing that, Christina, you please call the roll.
Marsh.
Aye.
Aguilar.
Aye.
Zuckerman.
Aye.
Erstad.
Aye.
All in favor. Motion carries.
Thank you very much. First item that we're going to hear is item number 1. It's DRH 23-00193. With this, I will turn it over to Caitlin for your presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and committee members. The subject property consists of 4 parcels and is located on the south side of Gowan Road, west of Broadway Avenue. The area is primarily industrial, but there are residences on the south side of Lake Hazel Lane. The applicant has located the buildings to allow perimeter vehicle circulation and an internal truck court. The applicant will construct the north half of Lake Hazel Lane, terminating in a cul-de-sac. Sidewalks will be constructed along Gowan Road and Lake Hazel Lane. The 2 concrete tilt-up buildings include the same design treatments with glazing and color changes that break up the wall planes. This is the perspective view from the northwest looking across Gowan Road. The planning team is recommending approval with conditions, and the applicant is in agreement with all the recommended conditions of approval.
Thank you. Any questions for staff at the moment?
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
I imagine this will probably be a subject of discussion further down the line, but what does the landscape treatment along the south side of this look like?
Mr. Chair, Committee Member Erstad, the applicant has provided additional trees beyond the 1 per 40 feet that would be required by code. Because there is a street located between this property and those residences to the south, there is not any additional landscape requirement in terms of what a buffer would look like.
Thank you.
Thank you. Other questions for staff?
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Caitlin, can you show the rendering again, please? It looks like the drainage swales, I know it's just a rendering, it looks like it's full of water. Is that the intent? Because my understanding is there's some requirements with regards to adjacency to the airport and potential bird hazards.
Mr. Chair, Committee Member Aguilar, my understanding is that it would not be as the usual that the swales would be full with water. We do have design standards for swales that are along streets, and the airport does also review projects. I don't believe they sent us comments in regard to this project, but I know the applicant has been working with the airport due to the adjacency to the airport property, so we could double check that with the airport.
Thank you.
Other questions? Seeing none, is the applicant present? Would you like to come up and present? And if you would, please state your name and address for the record.
Good evening. My name's Becky Izagari, and my address is 2471 South Titanium Place, Meridian, Idaho, 83642. So I'm here to present a 22-acre light industrial warehouse project located east of Gowan, off East Gowan Road in Boise, Idaho. The project site is located south of West Gowan Road, west of Broadway Avenue, north of Lake Hazel Lane. The Idaho Pipeline Company surrounds the property to the north, warehouses to the east, and single family to the south. The City of Boise Airport property is to the west. The property is zoned light industrial and consists of 2 warehouse buildings and associated infrastructure on approximately 22.7 acres. The east building is 160,000 square feet with 74 personal parking stalls, 4 ADA stalls, and 38 docking bays. The building is intended to accommodate 2 potential tenants. The west building is 250,000 square feet with 132 personal parking stalls, 5 ADA stalls, and 49 dock bays. The building is intended to accommodate 3 potential tenants. We are proposing improvements to both Gowan Road and Lake Hazel Lane. For Gowan Road, we are planning on constructing a 35-foot approach on Gowan Road for truck access only. We also plan to widen the frontage and add new left and right turn lanes on Gowan Road. And those swells that you kind of asked about there, those will be dry, no water in those. I think it was just for aesthetics. And so Lake Hazel Lane will see curb gutter sidewalk on the north side of the road, extending the length of the site. We'll also construct an approach on the property's southwest corner to accommodate personal traffic, vehicle traffic. We'll also construct a 55-foot radius cul-de-sac with a gated entrance for the city of Boise to access the property. The site is laid out to separate personal vehicles from truck traffic. As you can see here, the vehicles are represented in blue and will ingress-egress from either Lake Hazel or the existing drive to the northeast side of the property. Semi-trucks described in yellow will only use the new access off Gowan, thus reducing mingling of the two. The two new buildings will be constructed using tilt-up concrete walls. The exterior will showcase a blend of 3 different colors, selected to be subtle and blend in with the natural surroundings. The east building will have 2 main building entrances on the east side of the building. The west side of the building will have 38 loading docks with overhead doors and docking canopies that will run the length of the docking areas to provide shelter and protection. The east building has the ability to accommodate 2 potential tenants. Tenant 1 will consist of 77,600 square feet and will have 19 docking doors. Tenant 2 will consist of 81,540 square feet and will have 19 docking doors. The west building will have 2 main building entrances on the west. The east side of the building will have 49 loading docks with overhead doors and docking canopies that will run the length of the docking area. The west building can accommodate 3 potential tenants. Tenant 1 will consist of 82,600 square feet and will have 16 dock doors. Tenant 2 will consist of 86,400 square feet and will have 18 dock doors. And tenant 3 will consist of 80,139 square feet and have 15 dock doors. So we believe that this is an excellent project for this area. We put a lot of time and effort into this design to ensure it's compatible with the surrounding uses and safe for future users. So I can stand for questions.
Thank you much. Questions for the applicant?
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Mr. Sturstad.
Not necessarily pertinent to all this, but out of curiosity, what's the contemplated tenant makeup on this? It doesn't look like a cross-docking layout, but is it manufacturing? Is it warehousing? Is it?
I believe it's warehousing. We haven't got that far yet. So yeah, I'm still kind of in the works of trying to find tenants. Yep.
And then what does? Do you have a draining or a grading and drainage plan
We do, yes.
included in this?
Yes, that we did submit with with the city.
Other questions for the applicant at the moment? Hearing none. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Other members of the public wishing to testify on this item tonight? Yep, either one of you, if you want to come up. Sure, and if you would, okay. Absolutely, if you would just state your name and address when you just come up to the microphone, and feel free to go from there.
Okay, my name is Roanne King, and we live at 1245 West Lake Hazel Lane, 83705. So basically, our property is directly across from this project, so we were not referencing any of this work that I saw on the proposed paperwork, so I just wanted to make it kind of clear. I don't know who needs to see this, but we haven't met yet, but this is us right here. So anyway, we actually are really pleased with the plans. I just wanted to really briefly, I did sign up for testimony so we could have more time. I just have like 1 page to read about just our history, so it's on the record, and so we can be informed going forward. My husband, Mike, and I bought the property 4 years ago, and we had the intent of staying long-term. We also own a small business, King Hardwood Floors, and at the time we bought the property, it kept our sons in the Timberline School District as well as gave us space to run our business, and the zoning was perfect for us to be able to do that. We began making some improvements at the end of 2019, but had to go on hold for 2020 and 2021. In the 4 years we've lived there, we've enjoyed the rural life. There's actually the Gowan Air Show. There's actually a huge wild bird population that flies there, including, I think we have peregrine falcons that nest above our yard. So the only thing that really is probably going to be an issue with this is we're going to lose our view of the Boise foothills once these tall buildings are there. But we have views, the sunsets a little to the side over there. And I'm actually really excited about the landscaping and the trees that are going to be there because the property around us is pending, and hopefully they're going to keep some of the trees, but there's a lot of trees those birds use that may have to be removed. So that's basically it. We just wanted to be this part here that said, let's see, it was on page 2. It just said the adjacent land uses. It just says industrial buildings and the RV park. That mobile home park is now gone, so we are the only residents there. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anybody else want to come up and state some stuff? Testify tonight? Seeing none others in person. Any online, Josh? Nope, none online. The applicant, do you have anything else to add? No.
Ms. King, it's nice to meet you. Hi. Yep, so we do respect that, and that's why we put a lot of those trees up there. And we also added that additional approach on Gowan to eliminate a lot of that truck traffic. So that was for you all living over there. But if you do have any questions, please let us know.
Our grandkids might want to have a picnic in that grass area.
Sure.
Right across the street.
Well, great. Well, that's all I got to say.
Great, thank you very much. Yes, if you would, please come up, we can, and again, state your name and address for the record.
My name is Michael King, 1245 Westlake Hazel Lane, 83705. I was just curious about it. Is there going to be access to your property from our side of the street on Lake Hazel? I think it did show that, but okay.
Yeah, probably wouldn't hurt, and we can bring up the site plan. Do you have any other quick questions for her that you
No,
want
that
to
was
follow?
pretty much it. And the building is 43 feet tall. Is that right? I think that's what we read.
Okay.
We're good.
Great. So I think the site plan shows here, right here, kind of where that access with the Lake Hazel on the bottom of the page, and those two blue lines is where the access into the site off of Lake Hazel, one on the east and one coming off the cul-de-sac in the west. So anything else I've missed there? Okay.
Am I correct in the impression the one off the cul-de-sac is secondary? It's like a fire access, or is that just it? I think you said gated, but
Yep. Please come on up, and if you wouldn't, please. Yes.
Yeah, so we'll have a gate there, kind of just to the south of that access. There is the city of Boise. I don't know if we have a better map of that.
you can make out the property line
the
on the east side of that cul-de-sac coming in.
Yeah, so currently right now the city's kind of trespassing on our property. So
Okay.
we're just kind of gonna move it a little south,
Gotcha.
and put a gate there for the city. Yes.
But the access to your parcel will not be gated.
No.
Okay.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
With that, I'll close the public portion of the testimony, bring it back to the committee for discussion and a motion. So it seems pretty straightforward, and appreciate having people come out and express themselves on it. So with that, I'd be open for a motion if somebody's willing.
Mr. Chair?
Yeah.
I just want to thank the Kings for coming in and taking time out of their evening to come and testify. We really appreciate it when folks become engaged and participate in the process. So thank you.
Agreed. With that, anybody want to take a stab at a motion? Doesn't seem like there's too much of any controversy on this one.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mr. Stad.
I'm going to stumble my way through this because I don't have the exact verbiage memorized. And I've been spoiled in other boards because they just put it out there for me. But I move that we approve item DRH 23-00193 according to the findings of fact, rulings of law, et cetera, et cetera. Yes.
Okay, so moved
Second.
and seconded. Just to clarify, it's per the staff report and recommended conditions of approval, correct? Okay,
All of those. And I approve of that amendment to my motion.
okay,
So.
second?
Second.
All right. With that, any more discussion on the motion? Hearing none. Christina, you please call the roll.
Marsh.
Aye.
Aguilar.
Aye.
Zuckerman.
Aye.
Erstad.
Aye.
All in favor, motion carries.
Thank you very much. And that concludes our items for tonight, and we are adjourned.